I'll tell you what, I'll do you a favor. I'll throw in a fart.
Welcome to episode... Don't! That's a good one.
Episode 8?
Yeah, episode 8. And with that was such a good little lead in. I like that. What's the topic today?
Well, Badge, we're going to be doing some animated TV shows today. Except we are going through adult animation, not children's.
Yes.
So, with that, let us kind of soak it in for a sec. What is your relationship with adult animated TV shows?
So that's my shit. Always has been my shit. Like,
You
Adult
love
Swim,
that
man. Adult Swim was my shit. Like, or late, because that's what late night, like Cartoon Network turned into.
shit. Yeah, it did.
So, I mean, there's obviously some that, you know, are on Fox and Comedy Central, that would play more during the day, but the more gritty, more walking the fine line of, hey, you can say that, but you also can't say that. Those were always the late nights because usually the young kids were.
And honestly, man, there's something about a cartoon just saying naughty words, doing naughty things. It's like, God, I watched cartoons as a kid. Like,
Yep.
we start with like our Sesame. Well, I mean, Sesame Street's not technically a cartoon, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You got your Hanna-Barberas, you got your Disney, you got your Looney Tunes, you got all these things, and then it's like you grow up and you're not allowed to watch cartoons anymore. It's not cool, which is kind of fucking lame. So,
Which isn't the truth because I never stopped.
but that's true. That's true. And then you get to, I mean, Nicktoons, Nickelodeon kind of,
Well, they started Teen Nick.
they did. So they start letting you, as a teenager, you're still allowed to watch
They're like, you know what? It is okay. And, you know, and that's kind of where SpongeBob kind of changed from like that early morning to, yeah, we're going to push SpongeBob more to, you know,
And
the
yeah, I was going to say,
afternoon.
and like SpongeBob's now accepted among the adult community, but like in general, like as you get older, like there was a few here and there, like The Simpsons really kind of brought it into the mainstream for like,
Yep.
it's okay to be like cartoons. It's still fun. You can have a whole show based around it. And then Adult Swim, like you said, comes out. So we're going to get into all that today. Like you said, I'm Wolf. He's Badge. You've
I'm
seen us
Badge.
now. We almost don't got to even introduce ourselves. We're going to because it's proper etiquette on a podcast, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
What episodes? You said 8?
So, I have top 20.
No, I mean, like, is this episode 8?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. This is,
I
episode
said, we are
8,
not on
sorry.
episode 20 yet.
We are not episode 20. Not yet. It'll be here faster than you think.
We'll have so many more subscribers by then. Tell your friends. If not, all 3 of you are going to have a good time.
Welcome, all 3 of you.
Yep. Hell yeah. So,
Going into this, I'm going to call it animated TV controversy.
controversy. Okay. So, we're gonna look at
Because
some
there was a
things.
lot of controversy like you were talking about leading up to that.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be controversy because, like I said, people don't like adults enjoying cartoons for some goddamn reason.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? Especially because, you know, you were talking about them being funny, but, you know, there was I think one particularly I'm actually hooked on right now that was, it's not meant to be, like, super funny for, like, immature funny.
I do what? You do it. I know which one you're talking about. You do it. Sorry.
Woo!
That's the one. That's the one, dude.
It's King of the Hill.
It is King of the
Because it's stupid adult comedy, you know?
It is, yeah.
It's about propane.
Propane accessories.
Propane accessories.
Yeah, you put that stuff, like these type of fun things, in a cartoon. Like, they're real life stuff that they deal with, though. Like,
Yeah, it's there's nothing to create like in that entire series. There's nothing that happens in it that couldn't happen in real life. You know what I mean? Like it's a legit list, an everyday life of a propane salesman with his fucking hillbilly ass friends in Texas.
oh yeah, like you get to live in
But-
Texas without living in Texas.
But you know what I mean? They those exist. So, I want to start this off as I kind of fumbled earlier. I want to start with the top 20 episodes. This is on IMB, which is it's a popular like movie review site.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, or IMBD, I think is what it's called.
DD?
Yep. So I'm gonna start. We're gonna go in reverse because that's always the polite thing to do.
Yeah, you want to start with 20 and make your way up to the top. You got to build that.
Which I'm
tension.
already gonna start. I'm gonna say I'm already upset with what's ranked at number 20. I'm gonna be very biased on a lot of these things. But number 20 is American Dad.
American Dad, Seth MacFarlane, right?
Seth MacFarlane. This was the second one he did after
Family Guy.
Family Guy. Yep.
So, what is American Dad?
American
for those who
Dad's
don't know?
more, if you don't know, it's pretty much an animated series about a dad that works for the CIA, and they have he smuggled an alien, and that lives with him. The alien dresses up and wears disguises so that he can function and enjoy everyday society. But of course, there's always wacky things, and of course, they have a goldfish that had his brain switched out with a I can't remember if it's a Norwegian
It's
or
a Nazi, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
Like a
it's a
former
German.
Nazi.
Yeah, it's a German. No, he's not a Nazi. He's just a German ski jumper
Oh,
from the Nazi era.
oh, okay. It's from,
Yeah.
which
So
makes sense.
Good morning, USA. I got a feeling that it's gonna be a wonderful day. The sun in the sky has a smile on his face, and he's shining a salute to the American race. Oh boy, it's swell to say, good morning, USA.
and actually in the newer ones, because that is the theme song to that show, the newer ones, I think it's like episode or season 4, they actually have Roger come in and do the
I thought, the alien.
Good
Roger.
morning, USA. Go.
So
Because he
there's
shoves him back because he's on his way to the CIA and the. So yeah, I disagree with this. I don't believe it should be that high up. American Dad
You mean
has-
low? Like,
or that's why I
higher?
meant low. I meant low on the list. Sorry, it shouldn't be that low on the list. It should be a lot higher for me. Just because of its, the comedy in it's gold. It's just like Family Guy comedy. I guess the big difference is
It's like more.
this is more
conservative
structuralized and it's more. It's not. So in Family Guy, Peter will just go and randomly get his hands on a helicopter or some shit, and for some reason there's no rhyme or reason. He can
Yeah, it's
just because
kinda-
it's a
it sets
wacky
up the scene.
Yeah, it's a wacky thing, and Peter does weird wacky things. Like that's it. Whereas American Dad's more structuralized. It's around like America and CIA and America's the greatest, and they are harboring an alien, and
I think it's well done, dude. This
Yeah.
is actually my favorite Seth MacFarlane cartoon.
yeah. Me personally, I like.
It's way better than Family Guy.
It is. It's
I'm
way
just
better
gonna
than
be
Family Guy because it has more structure. It
does.
has a more relatable storyline. You know what I mean?
Well, I just think like they do really well with the dad's like CIA, conservative as hell, like a huge Reagan guy.
Yeah, loves Ronald
The
Reagan.
wife is just like a housewife, like kind of thing.
Yeah, the housewife that stays at home, but sometimes she gets kind of doesn't like being at home, so then she goes on
But-
weird ass adventures or
Yeah,
caught in
like-
weird things.
Yeah, and then the dad or son, Steve or whatever, like is like not who you'd want as your all American son.
Yeah, because he's just a nerdy,
He's just a nerdy kid. Yeah, he's nothing like his dad.
Nope.
And like the kid, the daughter, I forgot her name,
Haley.
Haley, super liberal. Like
Yeah,
flower child.
she's the opposite of her dad. She's a hippie. Eventually husband Jeff
Spoiler.
is hippie too. They live in at one point they live in his van, because he has a hippie van. So yeah, it's I don't like it being number 20. I mean, I'm not saying it should be top 5 by any means on this list, but it definitely shouldn't be 20.
How far? Is this show still in the air? I don't even know.
Yeah, it's still airing now. Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, it's been around for a long ass time.
So that might be the biggest problem with animation. Sometimes they go too long.
Well, so I think the reason American Dad started is because Family Guy ended up getting canceled, which we'll get later, and I think that was kind of like his. Well, you can cancel that, but I'm gonna do this, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden now he has 2 shows he's juggling. So we're gonna go to number 19. Can you guess what number 19 is?
No, I don't know yet.
It's shocking how like
Who
we're
would
in
it be?
the Flintstones.
Okay, so the very first animated
Yeah.
primetime show.
Yeah,
A
it's
lot of-
number 19 on this list.
So a lot of people don't know that was actually like something that came out at like 8 o'clock at night for your family to watch back in the day.
Yeah, it was like a prime time. Families eating dinner and
Fred, and-
watching the Flintstones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like-
but wasn't a lot more vulgar when it was first. Like
it wasn't. No, not really. But what would happen is they'd have ads with them like smoking cigarettes.
that's what it
and-
was. Yeah, drinking and
Yeah, which at the time it's not made technically for kids, but kids would watch. Like all TV in the '60s was kind of for the family to watch. You didn't have like adult programming unless it was the news.
And it would target everybody in the family.
Yeah, like you
Dad
want to hit as
smoking
much of that.
cigarettes.
Yeah,
you know?
like it's a family, but they're prehistoric and bedrock kind of thing. But like the ads that would come on, they would take their animated characters and have them like, oh, who smokes better than anyone else, Fred? Well, Bonnie, I like to smoke with a Marlboro Red. Like, I don't know if it was Marlboro or whatever cigarettes that existed back then, but they would sit there, and I remember the episode. I remember the ad. It's him and Barney sneaking behind the house, hiding behind like a dinosaur or something, and they're smoking cigs.
That's crazy. Yeah, I feel like I remember that.
And then Wilma and Betty catch him or something like, "Oh, what are you doing out here, Fred?" And then she wants to get like a cig or something. I don't know what it is, but that doesn't cut it today.
Right.
You can't do any type of advertising for cigarettes anymore. So
I think that's why that show kind of fell off the air because, I mean,
well,
well, not really that too. I guess it kind of, how much more can you do with prehistoric time
yeah, I mean,
without kind of stretching? I mean, granted, it's prehistoric time. No one really knows. I mean, what happened back
I mean,
then?
I can guarantee they weren't running around in cars with their feet.
Yeah.
Like that's just not
that were
what
completely
happened.
made
Like,
out of big ass fucking
bloom, 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 bloom.
lumber,
Yeah, like-
fucking rocks.
Everything's like named Rock something. So very.
I'll name her Concretia.
I was gonna say this-
From the movie.
they started going off the walls in the Flintstones when they brought the little green alien in
Yeah,
from the future.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, he comes later in the series. I remember I used to watch the shit out of this on Saturday morning, like back when I was a kid in the olden days, the early 90s. We had Cartoon Network every now and then when my parents paid the cable bill. And we would watch Cartoon Network was just blocks of cartoons. It was nothing else. There was no programming outside of it. It was Hanna-Barbera, Wacky Races, Tom and Jerry.
Yeah,
like,
it ran through, and then
just
eventually that's what
constant.
Boomerang turned into.
That's exact. And I would love Boom. I never
Yeah.
have watched Boomerang, but I would love it because that's the kind of shit I grew up on. Johnny Quest, that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
you had the Flintstones on there too. So as a kid, I never knew that was meant for like not kids. Like it was okay with kids, but it was a family show.
Yeah, it was family oriented.
It had a lot more mainstream appeal, and I just knew that Flintstones were popular. I had the vitamins, I had the cereal, I have Cocoa Pebbles, I have
Fruity Pebbles,
like,
which are still a thing.
and they're known more for that now than the TV show. Like people don't know, people don't just go, "Hey, I'm gonna go home and
I
watch
bet you if
Flintstones."
I go in and ask the kids if they've ever seen the Flintstones, they're like, "Yeah, the cereal," and I'm like,
We love the cereal, Dad.
"Yeah, you know that." I bet
mean,
you they don't know.
Yeah, like they've just completely disappeared outside of like their vitamins and cereals. So that's kind of wild. Any controversy with that besides the smoking thing, or is that just
See, I really don't know much about the Flintstones.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Flintstones. I mean, I've watched a lot of them, and I just know that smoking thing was really like caught me off guard the first time I saw it. But yeah, a good one to bring on there. Most people would forget about that one.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's weird that it's number 19.
Depending on what's above it, I guess at this point.
Sorry, I'm trying to look up data for this. There it is, right there. I knew that's what it was. So this next one,
Hit me with a big B.
number 18,
Who's 18?
Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Did you ever watch that?
I did.
Yeah.
So
So if you don't know what it is, it's literally just a bizarre ass show.
dude, that's the most bizarre show
With-
I've ever.
Meatwad. You know what I'm saying?
That was a good meat
Yeah,
wad.
Meatwad, Milkshake,
The shake, yep.
and then
Fry.
Fry Man.
Dude.
And then they had their neighbor Carl that would always get pissed off at all the things that they were doing.
Dude. Like, doesn't ask why they're fucking fries and shakes and meatballs.
Yeah, he just knows that they're there, and then for some reason, every episode there's always some crazy ass space figure that's there to mess something up that finds their way into their house.
You know, that's Adult Swim 100%, by the way.
That is straight
You have
adults.
to be fucking stoned to like that show.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember watching it when I had never smoked weed. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck is this? And then I remember one time we went to someone's house. I don't even remember whose house it was. It was in some trailer park somewhere. And I don't know if it was Hale. It was our buddy Hale. His girlfriend at the time had us go to some house. I think you were there, actually.
I was probably there. Yeah.
And it was just some random house, and he went to the bedroom with her, you know, doing what teenagers
Holy
do.
shit, I remember this
And we
night.
sat on the couch
Yes.
with some random guy I don't know.
Yeah, we never knew that guy, but he didn't really say much either. He just sat there. Was
No,
like,
he just turned on Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and we watched it for 4 fucking hours,
yeah,
dude.
That's really it. And then we didn't say shit to that guy.
No, I didn't say a word to him.
Yeah, we all just sat there and just watched.
But I remember at one point he looked at me with the remote in his hand. He's like, you want to watch that? But you like just flick the remote to tell me. I'm like, sure.
Yeah, we're good.
And we're drinking like vodka that some
Yep.
some random girl showed up with that we were all like, oh, she's so hot, and she had no interest in us, but like she the vodka
not at
and
all.
she shared that.
Yep.
So by the end of the night, it was fun. But yeah, it was smeared off.
because I think that night ended up leading into Metallica Guitar Hero, and then got a Van Halen Guitar Hero.
And I think we slept there that night.
Yeah, we did because Hale said, "Oh, I'm only gonna be a little bit."
Yeah. So yeah, that's my biggest memory with Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Really fucking weird show.
And it's fun. So actually, as the seasons go on, they actually changed their name.
Do they really?
So it's the same show. Nothing changes about the show. For the life of me, I cannot remember why they changed their show. So it was the 8th season they changed it to Aqua Unit Patrol Squad 1.
Maybe they're not teens anymore.
I have no idea.
Aqua Unit Patrol, dude, just too much. I don't even know where the
Oh,
Aqua
it says the main joke is that the title never really had anything to do with the show. But what does Aqua Unit Patrol Squad 1 have to do with it either? You know what I mean? So it was like it was
You
just
had
an
to be
irrelevant
stoned,
name
man.
change. So
People nowadays are gonna look back on time and they're gonna be like, "What the fuck is this show about milkshakes and
meat wads.
meat wads?" Yeah, like
What's talking about this, dude? What talking about, man?
that's really good, dude. That's pretty good stuff.
I like that show. That was actually a show that I liked. So number 17, I've never heard of this show. It's called Final Space.
No, I don't know that one.
So I'm not gonna have any. But once again, that's what I was saying. Like, you know, you got shows like American Dad, Flintstones, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and then you have 17, Final Space. It's like, what even is that?
It is a 2016 show about. It's a drama. The thing says for it, in the midst of working off a prison sentence, an astronaut named Gary meets mysterious planet-destroying alien named Mooncake, with whom he immediately bonds. But Gary doesn't realize his new sidekick is actually in demand by the sinister Lord Commander, who will do all he can to secure Mooncake's untapped evil powers. Dude, that sounds like something you'd like, though, to be fucking honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably go inside after this and try
Look
to
for
watch it.
Mooncake and Gary. Looks like Mooncake is a cat or something. I don't fucking know. But it's a weird space adventure that's newer. It's a newer show, so
That's probably why.
yeah, we've never seen this one, so we can't
Yeah.
give a whole lot on that one, but that is on the animated, like, apparently it's got good reviews. It's got
Yeah,
3
it's
seasons.
in the top 20.
So, I mean, there we go.
So number 16, the Boondocks.
So, I never watched this for 2 reasons. One, I'm not big into anime. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm not much, and it had that anime drawing style to it.
Yep.
2, I always assumed that they fucking hated white people in that
They
show.
they address, dude.
So-
I got that feeling every time I watch that show. I'm like, I shouldn't even be watching this.
Yeah, we're white, by the way. Not proud of it,
Caucasian.
but I have no choice. So, I watched it actually not too long, like a month ago. I watched the first few episodes, dude.
Just to give it a whirl.
Just yeah, I'm like, dude, why not? Like, this is what people watch at night. It was late at night. I'm like, let's watch it. Like, it was on Adult Swim.
Because it is vulgar.
Oh, it's
As-
pretty dude.
yeah.
It was funny as shit. Dude.
It is.
I'm like, oh, dude, like, I'm pretty comfortable with myself. Like, I feel like I'm not a piece of shit racist. I'm not anything like that. So, like, when people make fun of white people, I'm like, dude, wow, that hurt, but not as much as slavery. So we're gonna be okay with that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't get too mad. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I was born into pretty good fucking, like, in the grand scheme, I'm not living in fucking Yugoslavia. So, I mean, we're okay. So I'm not gonna let the show hurt my fifis.
Yeah.
But it was funny as hell, man. Like, it was. I can watch a lot of the anime stuff now. Like, I can get past artwork and stuff.
Yeah.
But
The only thing with anime
Took a
I can
while.
never get into is when their mouths are just going up and down, but they're speaking full sentences. That was always the turnoff for me for
Oh.
anime. I've never gotten into anime, dude. Like, I think Pokemon was like the only exception.
yeah, because I mean, you were looking at the fucking creatures fighting. That's what we wanted to see.
Right. Yeah, I didn't give a shit what was going on. But no, I get Boondocks was definitely more not white centered.
No, it wasn't, and that's what I guess that's kind of why I went looking for it though, because I'm like, a lot of the shows I've watched when I was a kid, I want to see myself in those shows.
Yeah.
Boondocks I could never see myself in, but as I got older and have gotten more experiences and been around more different things, because we grew up in a pretty farm-centric community.
Very racist community.
Yeah, it was. It was very
was.
racist.
It was a very racist
Not
community.
a fan of it, and not that I ever was that way, but like I was around people who were. So like
Yep.
getting into this show after it's been off the air for years now, it's funny. Like, it's funny. It's nice to see different cultures, and like, I'm never going to live the life of one of those two black kids living in a like area where I think they live with their grandpa.
Yep.
And like, I'm never gonna have that life. So like, it's cool. That's why I like stories and things like that. You get to step into shoes of someone that you're never gonna get to be.
Because it really does. It's not like some crazy, like, you know, it's legit the life of some kid who doesn't live. He lives with his grandparents. That's in the hood.
Yeah, and it's really cool idea, and I think that's, you don't see a lot of those, and that's what they mean when they say like they want to, like, people want to see different cultures and stuff in their shows so that they can relate to them.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to be like, oh yeah, like, why would you need like more shows of this? Like, saying me as in my type of person, because white people grew up with all this shit. Like, we all have tons of shows that we can relate to.
Yeah.
Like, the little black kid in the hood can't relate to fucking Gilmore Girls.
Right.
Like, that doesn't make sense
Yeah,
to
it
them.
doesn't make any
But
sense.
Boondocks might. So
Yeah.
it's cool. And I like it. I actually did like the show quite a bit. So
Yeah,
from what
it's a
I
good
saw.
show. I've never really finished it.
I haven't either, but it's just, that has nothing to do with just the fact I'm watching like 8 shows right now. So.
Yeah. And that's honestly the thing I get caught up in. It's very rare where I go, I'm going to, like right now, like I've already binge watched King of the Hill, you know? So a lot of the time, honestly, I'm binge watching it, but it's just mainly background.
That's one. Like, I can't relate to the Texas hillbilly shit either, so
Yeah.
it's fun to watch, like,
Yeah.
the life of them without me. Like,
Why does this guy love propane?
yeah, dude, like, I'm not big on propane, so more propane accessories.
So, speaking of King of the Hill,
Is that next?
it's not, but it's the same creator.
Beavis and Butthead.
It is Beavis
It's
and
Be-
Butthead
Okay,
at
so Mike
15.
Judge, Beavis and Butthead.
Yep. Were you ever allowed to watch that show?
So no, I wasn't actually as a kid.
Yep. My mom was always like, "You're not watching that. Turn that off." You know what I mean?
My dad. So we had a video game though as a kid. Mm-hmm. And like,
I
you could,
played
like,
that video
I remember one where
game.
you could hawk Louis off the roof onto people's heads.
Yes.
You had that game?
Yeah,
too?
I had
That's
that game,
awesome.
yeah.
we used to play the shit out of that, my sister and I.
See, my thing is, I never the main parts of that, because I mean, the first thing of Beavis and Butthead that I remember is the movie, the Beavis and Butthead Do America.
America, yeah.
I don't ever remember the TV shows. If I remember a TV show, the only thing I remember is I'm sitting on a couch watching some kind of a metal band, and them
Yeah.
talking shit to each other. Like that. That's
my
thesis
first memory of it too. I was at my dad's house. My mom would never have this even close to being on, but my dad did, because he liked this stuff, I assume. And we would sit on the couch, and I remember the one episode. It's like Beavis and Butthead sitting on the couch, and they're watching the music video. Because I went down there, because I'm like, oh, cartoon. I'm all in, man. I'm 6, 7 years old now. It's cartoon. My dad's like, you can't be in here. I'm like, why? It's cartoon. Like, cartoons are for kids, dude. So I start watching. I'm like, because they're like, yeah. I'm like, dude, her laugh is funny. And then they're like, he does the Bungholio thing. Like, some guy comes in and they fight, and he kicks him in the nuts or something. But they're watching music videos while they're doing it. So like, I'm starting to get into, like, I remember they were watching the Arithmetics. It's that one song, the one that they're famous for.
I've never heard of the band Arithmetics.
Why can I not think of this shit when we're on the podcast? It's the fucking dude. We're gonna have to look that shit up real quick. So
Yep.
the Arithmetics it's their most famous song, dude. Annie Lennox's "Sweet Dreams." Sweet dreams.
Oh,
are made of
okay.
things.
I don't know. That was the.
So she's doing it, and they're like, "Who's the dude?" I'm like, she has short red hair. I'm like, "What the hell?" I remember being like,
That's
"That's
awesome.
messed up." But I swear to God, and every time I think of that song, I see that episode of Beavis and Butthead in my mind. But we can move on from it. That's just, dude, Beavis and Butthead was something different. I never really got into them though. Outside of that, like, I feel like the shtick grows old quick.
Yeah, I mean, because
There's only so much you can do.
yeah,
like, I
like
know
the
they tried
movies.
with
I feel like Do America kind of did more
Yeah.
for itself than the actual TV. I think they tried to revamp it, which is I know me and you
They
watched
have,
it
yeah.
the other day.
Yeah, the ASMR.
Yeah,
though.
the ASMR
Holy
one.
Shit, that was funny though.
Dude, it was funny as shit.
I love ASMR.
It's like, is it weird that this ASMR is giving me a boner? You know?
Dude, it's just the stupidest shit. This is the time frame to bring them back though, because like, we watch videos. That's what people do now.
Yeah, dude.
And that's what they were doing on their couch 30 years ago. So
Right.
I mean,
And that's the world
it's-
nowadays.
Yeah, it's just funny.
Moving on to number 14. So I don't recognize the name, but I had to pull it up to look at. It's called Duckman,
Duckman.
and apparently it launched on my birthday in 1994.
It's your 4th birthday.
Yep,
Kurt Cobain's still alive. As we saw in the last episode.
for the next month.
Yeah. I remember seeing Duckman as a kid. Like, just pictures of him.
Yeah, but I cannot recall the
It's a
show.
sarcastic,
And it looks
womanizing
like
duck. His name's Eric T. Duckman.
that's weird as hell, isn't it?
Solves crimes with his help of his pig partner, Cornfed.
Hey, and the guy who plays his voice is actually the guy who plays God, what's the little dude in Seinfeld? His best friend.
Oh,
George.
Yeah, George. It's Jason Alexander.
Yeah.
That's a Dark Horse comic, Duckman. It was adult animation. It ran for a few seasons between 1994 and 1997 for 70 episodes. That is a weird
70
show.
episodes?
70 episodes of that shit.
Like I said, the duck looks familiar, but I couldn't tell you
I just
one
remember
episode.
seeing him in passing. Like, it's one of those
Yeah.
things where it would not have been something that I would have watched because I'm too young for it.
Yeah,
So,
4 years old.
yeah. My dad may have watched it. I don't remember him ever mentioning Duckman. Duckman is not something that I'm really gonna know.
So sorry,
a lot
we don't
about.
have a lot of information on this one.
Yeah,
either.
any of you Duckman fans, we'll save it for the Duckman episode. That's gonna be in the distant fucking future, like way the fuck out there, because we're probably not doing a Duckman episode. If you came here for the Duckman, it's time to go.
Time to leave. This is where you get off.
Oh, look at 2 of our listeners just
Oh,
left.
see
So,
ya.
all right, we got 1 guy left.
So
no, but-
moving on to number 13.
yeah, let's.
King of the Hill.
So, all right, what do you got with King of the Hill since
King
you're
of
on
the
a
Hill.
binge?
Yeah. Well, so it's just a story about an average Texas family. Dad sells propane. Mom is a Spanish substitute teacher who tries to go above and beyond for stuff. She's good at Boggle. They have
Peggy.
a son named
Oh, Peggy.
Hey Boggle. They got a son named Bobby. Boo.
I can't do the wall.
God damn it, Bobby. Their son's just overweight little kid.
Bobby makes that show.
He does.
I won't hear any different from you.
But usually, it's very popular. Them starting out, he's always hanging out in the Hank. That's the main character, the dad. The propane salesman works for Strickland Propane.
Is that where he works for?
Yep.
remember-
Hangs out with his 3 best friends.
Bill, Boomhauer, and Dale. Right?
Yep. That's it.
I haven't seen it in so long.
So
but he's-
Dale's he's an exterminator. Very conspiracy driven. Like he thinks the government's always watching him, but it's
God.
also weird because he's also pro military. He loves the military. So it's weird how
sounds
that one
familiar
works.
nowadays.
Boomhauer, you can't understand a damn word that dude's ever saying. Pretty much what you get from him is you don't know what he does as a job, but he's always got some kind of a chick around and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say you still get the Boomhauer
Yeah.
people like coming out of the woodwork acting like him.
And then you got Bill, and he
Dude, I
is
like Bill.
he's a military barber.
Is that what his job is? in
Yeah,
that
he's
show?
a military barber. Yep.
Who's the one without shins?
That is Hank's dad.
Hank's dad. That's the one. Yeah, we were
Yep.
talking about that.
Cotton.
Cotton. Yeah.
Cotton Hill. Got his shins blown off in the war when he was fighting the Nazis.
The Nazis. That's what it is.
Yeah. So his dad's a prick. Married someone that's like 3 times young. Yeah. There's a lot that goes on, but it's a great show.
See, I don't remember watching a lot of it. I just remember parts of it. I always thought it was funny, but it wasn't like funny enough to keep me watching all the time as a kid because I didn't understand a lot of it.
Yeah.
Tell you what, though, that theme song is great.
What are you playing? There it is. I was like, what is going on? That didn't even sound like the theme song because when I was doing the wrist
say it
thing,
looked like it
it
was
was supposed to go.
That's
Is what it was supposed to do, and then right there it's supposed to go ding 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 ding.
I think it's the extended version, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Song by the Refreshments is who sings that.
Oh really?
Or I guess they don't sing, but play it.
But yeah, no, I that's one of my favorite shows. I wish that this show was rated higher, but I could understand why it wouldn't be higher,
Yeah.
just because
But that is probably Mike Jones'
relatability.
most. I think it's better than Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, it
for
is.
sure.
For sure.
A lot more depth to the characters.
That's one. That's one I wish they would revamp, but it'd be kind of hard because Luann, their niece, is played by Brittany Murphy.
Yeah, she's gone.
Yep. So, I mean, nowadays you could find anybody that sounds like her, but I just don't feel like it would be recognized as the same. So, number 12. It's actually not a cartoon. It's more
What?
claymation.
Oh God, what is it, like Gumby or some shit? I don't know. You're
It's
gonna.
Robot Chicken.
Oh, Robot Chicken. Oh God, dude.
Dude, I love that show.
Yeah, that one's
dude,
funny.
that show screams our
Childhood a little bit.
child, our teen, not really childhood, but more our like 16, 17, 18, because that was it. We all would always try to buy the seasons, and
Yeah,
that's
back
what we
when
would
had
do.
to buy it on like. We had to buy that shit on like DVD sets. and
Yeah,
it was
dude.
Expensive, yeah.
Yeah, it was
I
like
remember
$80, but you got like 4 discs.
that. You did, yeah. It was like. Oh, that's an ad.
You
shit
can
off.
just turn that shit off.
Yeah, sorry guys. That's an ad in case you want to buy some goddamn Telecasters. I remember this. I tried to show my oldest child this show, and she thought I was the dumbest motherfucker on this side of the. And she's like, "This is not cool. This is not fun. This is." She's like, "Do we have to watch this, Dad?" Like, she's like, "Okay." Like, ooh, that was a miss.
What's
for
your
her.
most memorable scene from that one?
Out of all the Robot Chicken I'd seen, I think my most memorable one on that is probably the one where Darth Vader and the Emperor, where he keeps coming back to the. He's like, "No, you let him get away. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed." Like,
Oh, I remember that one. Okay.
it's just like, yes. He's like on the phone with Darth Vader. He's like, "I'll take a ham sandwich."
Ham sandwich.
Or something like that. He's like, dude, that part always sticks out in my mind.
See, mine would be when the gummy bears hop. She's like, "I'm so happy because I'm a gummy bear, and she steps in a fucking bear trap, and she starts screaming high pitch, and then she starts eating herself, and she's like, that's delicious," and she's pretty much eating her fucking leg.
Hell, dude.
But
I mean, it makes sense with.
the thesis of Robot Chicken, if you've never watched Robot Chicken, it's God, what's his name?
It's Seth Green.
Seth Green. There it is. Yeah, Seth
He
Green
got a
and
lot
one of his friends.
on it.
It's I say it's like claymation, but it's more than
Brecken
that.
Meyer, isn't it?
Uh,
His friend Brecken Meyer, isn't it?
oh, that could be.
Like he played in Road Trip or whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
It was definitely unique for its time.
It's toys. They take toys and they figure out how to. They found a way to make the mouths move, and I mean it's not just
Looks
toys.
like
they-
clay mouths. Huh?
Yeah, they use clay mouse exactly. Yeah, they use clay mouse for the talking, and yeah, it's a very interesting.
playing with their
show.
toy box. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like you don't know what you're gonna see. It could be anybody because it's a toy box.
And the outcome for the stories are just bizarre for like the most part. Like
yeah, it's short skits really. It's not even really much. Sometimes they do big stories, but like
they do-
usually
usually
like
it's just like little like 10, 20 second.
skit show. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun though. It was definitely fun to watch, and I got a lot of celebrity voices on there. A lot of times, like I remember Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher showed up a lot.
Yep.
They had quite a few different people come in.
Yeah, they've tons.
Seth Green had quite a few connections. I feel like in Hollywood at the
Well,
time.
that was his peak of time too. Like
It was, yeah,
He had
he's-
just started Family Guy. He just got done doing all the Austin Powers movies. Like he had a name for himself.
He was in every single TV show ever.
Yeah.
Like he was just sitcom appearing in that 70s show and
Yep.
any teen drama. Swear to, or not drama, comedy.
Because he did that one movie too. God, what is that movie called? I've always wanted to watch it again. I've only watched it one time, but it was a really good movie. Where they're dead.
They're dead.
Yeah, they're dead.
Idle
And
Hands.
Idle Hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's depicted as a horror movie, but I was
Yeah, it was
not
like
scared one time.
The
watching
guy's
it.
hands start killing his friends. Yeah, I remember that one. I didn't see it, but I do remember that. Yeah, I could see Robot Chicken on there. But
Yeah, I mean,
I
that's
wouldn't put it up in the top, but
I put it right around there. I think it's in a good spot.
I'd put King of the Hill over that.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. for sure. Number 11. I don't know if you watched this. This TV show is very vulgar. It's a newer one, but you've watched The League, right?
I've seen The League, yeah.
Obviously. I can't remember his name. It's the rich one.
Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking about, though. Yeah.
This is his TV show.
What's it called?
Big Mouth.
Oh, yeah, Nick Kroll.
Nick Kroll, there it is. Yeah, it's Nick.
Ruxin in the show.
Yeah, Ruxin.
I have heard about Big Mouth. My sister has mentioned Big Mouth to me.
You never watched it?
I've never seen it.
Don't watch it around your kids.
That's what I've heard as well.
Yeah.
It's about, like, puberty and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
it's about kids going through puberty. Like, you have... I haven't watched in a while, so I'm going to slip on some of the character names. But pretty much you have Nick. He's the main character.
Yeah.
And they pretty much go through like his life. Like, all of his friends are starting to hit puberty, especially his best friends hitting it before everybody, who's a Jewish kid. You know, and that's where they introduced the puberty monster.
Yeah, that's what it is. He's a puberty monster.
The puberty monster is funny as hell. Because I remember the one time he's like, "What are you?" So Nick ends up seeing him before puberty time,
Yeah.
and the puberty monster's a dick, and he was like, "What are you? Some kind of a puberty fairy?" And he's like, "What the fuck did you call me?"
Who plays the monster?
Nick.
Oh, he plays the Maury the monster.
Yeah,
too.
Maury. He plays
I'm
Maury
reading it.
too. Yeah.
Oh, it's got the guy Jason Mantzoukas too, as plays Jay Bilzerian.
Yeah, that dude who plays his brother-in-law in yeah.
Ralphie.
Ralphie. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
dude.
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Jenny Slate. You got Maya Rudolph in
Yeah,
there.
it's got a lot of
Damn.
like big name cast in it. It's a very good show. It is definitely, like I said, don't watch it under kids because I didn't realize how bad it was. And luckily,
John
my kids were at
Mulaney.
a young enough age where I was like, nah, you can't.
That
be in
show's
here."
over now, right? Like they finished it.
I haven't heard anything new about it.
7 seasons it says. So
Yeah, dang, there's 7. I think I stopped watching it at 3.
wow. Yeah, they've gone for a while on that shit.
Yeah,
But
it's a good one, dude. I mean, Maury definitely makes the show because he is funny as hell. That's kind of where I'm at with that. Maury makes the show. I mean, there's other scenes, like there's a scene with Jay fucking pillows, you know. It's just, it's all fucking crazy. Like, it's funny when like Nick gets his first pube and it's like, yeah, you know. it's fucking funny, dude. But anyways, you should watch it if you get a chance.
yeah, that's something that everyone can like experience, but you can't put that in kids' TV.
You can't. Do not watch it around your kids.
But that's the thing too. Is like that's why it's funny that you put that shit in for adults. But like, probably a lot less creepy to have a cartoon of someone fucking a pillow than a dude fucking a pillow and then like starts talking to it or some shit.
Yeah.
Cartoons are needed.
Number 10, I don't have an opinion on. I don't know why the hell it's number 10. That's going to be Trailer Park Boys animated series.
Never seen it.
I didn't even know they made an animated series. Like, I'd never watched the original.
I knew.
Did you know?
Oh, TC, our buddy TC is fucking in love with Trailer Park Boys. He had like a sleeping bag of it or something.
So,
But he did mention they did an animated show. I don't know anything about it. I've watched a few episodes of Trailer Park Boys. It is somewhat funny. Nothing that I'm really like. I can't get into it as much.
I've tried to. I've tried to watch the actual Trailer Park Boys. I just can't.
As for some people, though, people love TPB. TPB. They
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
And the animated one, I don't know why they decided to go animated. I think the one guy died in it, the sheriff or something, Leahy.
Really?
I know too much about the show for never seeing a goddamn much of it.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah, for a while there, TC was pretty into it, so he would talk to me about it a lot. So, yeah, I didn't know there was an animated series. I didn't know that it would be up that high. That doesn't make any sense to me, but I've never seen it, so I can't get
Yeah. I just find it weird by looking at that name and seeing plenty of other ones that are in front of it. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I haven't heard nobody besides TC talk about
Yeah.
this show, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard people talk about the regular show.
Yeah, not the animated series. Yeah. So let's we're just gonna move past that. That was a pretty quick one. Well, the next one's gonna be kind of quick too.
What is it?
The Venture Bros.
So I've heard about the Venture Bros. That's another Adult Swim, right?
Yeah.
I've always wanted to watch that one, but it's one of those things where never got around to it. Seems like
Oh, I've seen this before.
They kind of like make fun of what is it, like spy stuff or something. Like,
So what it says in the description is Johnny Quest
okay, that's what I was gonna
gets
say.
an irreverent but affectionate spoofing in this animated series, chronicling the sometimes hair-raising adventures of Hank and Dean Venture, the not especially bright twin sons of pill-popping super scientist Dr. Thaddeus Rusty Venture. Luckily, for the most part, their safety is overseen by a security guard who uses his license to kill every chance he gets.
See, that would probably get me to watch it because I love Johnny Quest, like I mentioned earlier, for a show that I used to watch on Cartoon Network. That making fun of it would be perfect. Like you could definitely make fun of that show. It was ridiculous. And
Yeah,
so many-
that sounds like what they did. Someone's just like, you know what?
like the
That's what we're gonna do.
Early '60s, like yeah, for sure.
Because even the graphics in the picture look like it's
Maybe
meant
they
to look
yeah,
old
I was
school.
gonna say, I'm looking at a picture of it too. Yeah, they definitely the themes look just like Johnny Quest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be down to watch that.
So that's another quick one. This is another one I know of this show. But I think I've watched maybe an episode or two, but I don't remember. It's BoJack Horseman.
So, I've never seen it either. I'm gonna start there. But that show is considered one of the best animated shows of all time.
That's what I hear. I heard it's a very, very like I said, I watched two. I don't remember why I stopped watching it.
It's Will Arnett's in it.
That's awesome. Yeah, doesn't he play the main?
He plays both.
Yeah, BoJack. Yeah.
It's psychological comedy drama. Like there's some that are sad episodes. Like it's very deep. It's like Anthropomorphic Force or something. Who was a washed-up star of a '90s sitcom who plans a return to relevance with an autobiography written by a ghostwriter played by Allison Brie. So it looks like he's got like it's just mental health. It's all about mental health. His decline in mental health. So people have said it's a Netflix show. I think originally too. It's like really, really highly regarded. Started in 2014, ended 2020. Yep,
Right around
77
COVID.
episodes. They planned the ending already. It looks like.
Oh, so they only planned it for whatever seasons they had.
Yeah, it wasn't like just shit off.
You know, and that's cool. I like it when people do that. They have this is what we're gonna do. This is our goal, and I like it when they actually accomplish the goal.
So looking at Rotten Tomatoes too, like the season grades. Season 1, 71%. Season 2, 100. Season 3, 100. Season 4, 97. Season 5, 98. Season 6, 96. Dude, people love this show.
Yeah.
First season not as much as the others, but damn,
No one ever loves the pilot season.
it's hard because you gotta figure out your footage.
Yep.
But another one deals with a huge adult issue of mental health,
Yeah.
and you can't do that in a kids' cartoon.
Nope.
So,
Because kids aren't gonna understand.
but you're also making it kind of funny, like it's a weird anthropomorphic horse, but he's going through the same stuff that people in real life go through. So,
Yeah.
never seen it. Apparently, we haven't seen a lot of these. What the fuck?
Well, yeah. It's just a lot in the middle of this list. Like that's so out of the 20, there's
Controversies. We don't know shit about these fucking shows.
so I know 15 out of the 20. I can verify.
What's
Next is one of my favorite ones. It's Bob's Burgers.
never seen Bob's.
You've never watched Bob's Burgers?
Everyone tells me to watch it.
Dude.
The more you tell me, the more I don't want to watch Bob's.
Dude, that show is so it's the voices. My sister came up and visited from Indiana one weekend, and when she left, her husband called me and said, "What was the name of the show that you were watching all weekend?" And I go, "Bob's Burgers," and he goes, "You're not allowed to play that ever again while we're up there." He goes, "Your sister is so just." He goes, "It's not that the show was bad." She goes, "It was the mom's voice." He goes, "The mom's voice drove your sister nuts." Like, yeah.
Who's the mom?
It's some dude. I can't remember his name.
H. John Benjamin plays the main guy.
Yep. And yeah.
Guy known for the Arby's commercials. He also plays in Archer.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I know him from Archer really well. But like, I would watch it. The animation was weird. That's another one. It looks like weird fucking.
Yes,
things.
it is. It's weird.
As I get older, I
They
understand
look
how
weird.
stuff goes through.
But it's to me it's a more of a it's lame comedy. That's what it is. Like you have the weird ass older daughter is just a yeah. I didn't like it. They made it a musical and I'm not a musical. I do. So, but yeah, no, it's a good show. I love the show. It's like he battles. He has his arch rival because So what it is it's Bob. He owns a burger restaurant, and Jimmy Pesto is his arch nemesis who works across the street who owns a pizzeria.
Okay.
So that's pretty much what every episode is. He has a shady ass landlord that owns the fairgrounds too up the road, or the not the fairgrounds, the
Like Amusement Park?
no God, what do you guys call it over there in Jersey? The crosswalk or the boardwalk.
Oh, Boardwalk. Yeah, I see it does take place in Jersey.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a crazy show. The kids are always getting caught in weird things, and
14 seasons.
Yeah,
I
dude.
didn't realize there's 273 episodes of this shit.
yeah, it's a good show.
I'd watch it though.
You need to start.
Fox show.
You just gotta get over the voices. That was the one where
The voice don't bother
the
me.
voices make me laugh, and that's what it was. He's like, "Oh, Bobby," like that's how his wife talks.
I did hear the Jimmy Pesto voice guy storm the Capitol
Yep.
during
Yep.
January 6th, so he went to jail or something for a few,
Yeah.
I think. Something.
And I don't know if that affected the show or not. I can't remember.
Luckily, with animated shows, though, you can replace the voice if it has to happen.
Yeah.
Like they've done that, as we'll see. when they
Because it's not like he's in it that often. It's mainly
It's
just the
kinda
burger
side
shop.
stuff, yeah. It's
Yeah.
not like you're replacing H. John Benjamin, who has a voice that is very hard to replicate.
Yeah.
Where he sounds like, or whatever he does.
Yeah.
I can't even do his voice.
I can't either. I've tried so many times.
I was gonna try.
Just do it.
My name. Nope. You do it.
I don't know if I can. Tina.
It's like deep voice. I don't know.
Linda? No, I can't. That went weird. But yeah. So, anyways, I like that show. Actually, conveniently, no number 6 is.
Archer.
It is. It is. Archer's a great show.
I loved Archer for a long. Many seasons of Archer have been amazing until they got towards the end. It got kind of crazy at the end when they like shoot Archer or something, and he ends up going into Dream where they just keep changing each season to a different style.
Yeah, and they do a Bob's Burgers one where he's
Yeah,
like,
he makes
he's like, Linda's like, Bob. He's like, my name's not Bob, it's Archer. And she goes, what are you talking about, Bobby? Yeah. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, Archer's a great one, dude. He's just an alcoholic spy. Yeah.
And
Gets into a lot of shit.
yeah, all the characters in that one are great. Like you got the doctor. God, I haven't seen it in so long.
Yeah,
It starts with an R, Dr. Rutger or something. It's the you're gonna have to.
I'm Googling it. You got Lane Kane, which is his dream girl, pretty much. Like he does everything to, or Lana. That's what it is, Lana. Sorry, Lana. Yep, you got Lana.
For a cartoon.
Lana. Lana.
Yeah, dude, Lana's funny too.
Cheryl.
Cheryl's funny as shit too.
Yep.
She's the one that's crazy, isn't she? Like,
Yeah, she becomes a country singer or some shit like that at one point. Then you got Pam.
Pam is probably the best goddamn part of that show. I'm not gonna lie.
She's what makes it.
She is. Like sniffing cocaine and shit.
Yeah.
She's doing crazy shit.
But she does it so nonchalant most of the time.
Yeah. Cyril. I remember Cyril. Because he's the voice of, what's the...
Yeah, Cyril
like,
Figgis.
Rick and Morty, too.
Yeah, it's
The voice of the dad.
yeah, guy who plays Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry.
Yep. Mallory Archer, which is his mom.
Yep. She was great. Jennifer Walter. She's passed away now. She was awesome as Mallory.
Barry, which is Archer's arch nemesis.
I forgot about Barry.
So we already said Cyril. Woodhouse,
His butler.
His
right?
butler,
Yeah,
yep.
I love the butler.
and then you have Ray.
Oh, the gay.
The-
He's super flamboyantly
yeah.
gay. Yeah, he is hilarious.
Yep. He's
God,
very
the
like
characters in that show are just great, dude.
Dr. Krieger.
Krieger.
Yeah, that's what
not
it is.
Rutger, it's Krieger.
Krieger.
He's also makes that shit. He's always
Because-
doing, like,
Because he's not. Well, it's funny because he's not even in it that often. It's just, but when he is in it, it's always like, look at this crazy shit I came up with. You know what I mean?
things that are like illegal and shit.
And then you have Mallory's husband Ron, the rich guy that she marries,
Oh yeah, that's Burt Reynolds I think plays him.
and then
Rest in peace, Burt.
Yeah, I don't know the rest of these, but yeah, that's pretty much that's the.
God, I have not seen Archer in so long.
I know it makes me kind of want to restart it. If I'm being honest, dude, I forgot. Like you start watching shows and you just kind of forget, you know.
There's so much to watch.
Number 5. So I feel like this top 5 is placed very accurately. You might be biased, or might not biased, but you might not agree with me. But here we go. Can we get a drum roll for number 5 or top 5?
And this Juana.
Who do you got?
Is it Family Guy?
Nope.
Simpsons?
Nope. Close.
Futurama?
It's Futurama.
I fucking love
Yeah, Futurama. You know they have new seasons out. They have new episodes.
I know. I've watched a few.
Yep.
I don't watch them as quick as I used to, like just because I don't have the time.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, it's better than Simpsons. I'm just gonna say it.
It is.
It's the best thing that Matt Groening has ever made.
Yeah.
It is so goddamn funny to me. Hold on, we got a little bit of something for you. Gotta do it for this one.
Here we go. Okay. We're going to talk over the ads. There's ads playing on YouTube. We're not using YouTube.
I like the rebirth. I'm like, why does it sound so weird?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that was.
I don't know what that was.
That was like a weird.
You know what I mean? But I will say that like this is one of the only animated shows that's made me cry. Like, dude, the Jurassic Park, dude.
The what?
Jurassic Park,
What one's that?
where his dog, he disappears and his dog.
Oh God! Don't even get me started. Oh, I just started to tear up.
And waits and just dies. there
It just
waiting.
dies waiting for him.
Buddy, yeah.
God damn it! I forgot all about that.
Or the one with his brother,
Yep.
where he's like, he stole my name.
Yeah,
Right,
the whole
I thought it was
time.
his nephew, that whole time he named him after him.
Yep.
Dude, that. I'm sorry. No, but
The other one too is when he messes up with Leela and he keeps trying to go back in time to fix it, and every time he goes back, he messes it up. So he has to recycle the entire life of Earth.
that's the last episode of the original series is where he's trying to fix it, right?
No, that is where he has the.
They ended that show like 18 times, so.
They did well. They re-end or so that one he finally dates Leela and they go. Oh wait, no, you are right, 100% because
Falling off the building,
yeah, he's
right?
falling off the building at the end. Yeah, and then yeah.
Yeah, and then they finally break time and they live their life together.
Yep.
No, the other one I was thinking of was the Game of Tones, I think, where he keeps hearing a sound and he goes back in time and sees his mom and kind of tells her like he loves her, and she doesn't. She kind of hears him or something. I don't know. It was whatever it was. Is another one where I'm like, God damn it, this show
Touches the feels, dude.
does. Yeah, I love it. I love that show.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite shows. Like I've watched it a while. I think honestly, God, I think I just finished binge watching it for like the 8th time a couple months ago, which is what moved me to King of the Hill.
I think I just watched one episode recently. And it was the Slurm episode, the party. Slurm.
Yeah, the parties.
They're at a party, and he just like parties to knock the place down. Yeah, that is an amazing show.
Yep.
Is there any controversy to that one?
Not that I looked
Is
up.
there any controversy to these? I mean, there's one episode where Bender becomes Ben-Hur, where he's
Yeah.
like beating.
I mean, I'm sure all these walk that fine line eventually. Once we finish this list, I'll go over
Some of the controversy.
yeah, some of the controversies that I found.
God, I love Future. That should be up higher. I know it's at 5. It should be higher.
I would rate it higher than Family Guy, which is at number 4.
Oh yeah, I would too. Family Guy is its own thing, but
It was a good 1999. You know, it kind of
yeah, I mean you're looking at a show that was unique at its time. It was pushing the limit, but you telling me Family Guy's number 4 tells me that I know the next 3. So
Do you though?
just what order it is. It better be the next 3, or else that list is bullshit.
I bet you don't.
I'm not gonna talk too much about Family Guy just because it's been.
Yeah, everybody knows Family Guy. I mean, if you want, I can jump into the controversy for Family Guy and break it down that way.
Let's talk about
Okay. So, Family Guy was actually canceled after the second season by Fox in 2002 due to low ratings. The only reason its ratings dropped was because the time slot changed, and they were then competing with Friends, which is obvious. Like in that time frame, Friends was so you weren't nothing was beating Friends. Yeah, it doesn't matter how good.
That shit's still popular today. Kids love that shit. Like
Yeah.
young kids like
Yeah.
Friends still. Look at this retro show.
So then, after abrupt streams via the internet, the show was brought back to life in 2005 because the numbers were skyrocketing for Family Guy. So Fox decided to revive it, and there's actually things going around saying that Cartoon Network actually aired one of the episodes from season 3, and that sparked a big controversy during the cancellation because they had season 3 ready to go. Fox canceled. Apparently, Cartoon Network got their hands on the pilot episode for 3 and aired it, and Fox like flipped out.
I bet. Because for a while there, Adult Swim had it on there too.
Yeah.
I remember it
Yep.
as a kid.
So that was a big thing. They were actually canceled 2 times. The second time, I guess these two kind of blend together.
Oh, was it for the...
Yeah, unless I messed up on my typing, but pretty much both times were due to ratings dropping. That's pretty much why any show gets canceled. Your ratings drop, but they did specify upon the cancellations that it was not new, or it wasn't due to the edginess of the Family Guy jokes. That was never ever a reason. Because like that was one thing Seth MacFarlane's really good at, is walking that fine
I
line.
will say, yeah, it's more of a liberal-based show based off the difference of American Dad and that one. I will say,
Yeah.
So Family Guy started out really funny because they would like take random events and things like, oh, like that one time I had a chicken that I fight, and then he goes into
Cutscene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cutscene to anything you want to be. Remember that time that I had Christina Aguilera shove glitter in my nose, and then he just like randomly shows Christina like.
Yeah.
It doesn't
That's the
matter.
kind of
They're
ways.
like always doing that. But the problem is eventually that gets old. Like,
Yeah.
It's very quick, very like oh, stoners love this shit, by the way, because like, oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. It's like TikTok now.
That was young me, man. Like, as you gotta think, back in 2000, 2009, 2010, dude. Like, I had almost every season of Family Guy, and that's what we do. We'd all get home from work, fucking get stoned and watch Family Guy.
Yeah.
But you know, my some of my favorite things from Family Guy though are like the time travel. You know, Stewie creates a time travel device, and
But then, so something else I really did not like about Family Guy is they change the personalities of the characters. Like Stewie is like bent on world domination, which eventually gets old. But then he gets all like really touchy.
but there was a reason for that. That's because his mom. It wasn't world domination. It was he wanted to get rid of Lois.
Yeah, that's true.
But then
He needs Lois.
he gets rid of Lois.
Oh yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Yeah, but then it turns out it was a simulation, and then that's why his attitude changed. Like, he was hellbent. He created this test to see if his actions were actually worth acting out, or if he needed to change. Realizes that the outcome wasn't going to be what he wanted. So
And Peter's just so goddamn dumb.
it's yeah, he is. He's just fucking stupid.
Like, there's no way anyone in their right mind would date Peter. But that's the point of the show.
Especially someone like Lois.
Yeah, like it was funny. And she's way out of his league, that's the whole point. That's what
And then you also have his friend who's always trying to bang his wife, Quagmire.
So, controversy time. Quagmire is a controversy, walking controversy.
He is.
Like, nowadays you can't just, like, you get,
Giggity.
18.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
nowadays,
yeah.
it's fucking crazy. But, same thing with Joe's wife cheating on him constantly.
Yeah, because he's a paraplegic. Yeah.
They really did walk the line on a lot of that shit. But no, Family Guy was fun. Not one of my favorites, but it was fun.
I would definitely put Futurama above Family Guy for sure, and American Dad. I would put American Dad up there.
So the last three, I know the last three is the order they're gonna be in.
Okay, number 3.
I know it's going to be this one, and I'm not going to say it because I don't want to be, but Simpsons?
Nope.
So I know what it's going to be. That's one I don't want to be. It's South Park.
The South Park is number 3.
Dude, South Park should be number 1, I'm going to be honest with you.
South Park number 1. Really?
Huh? I do think so, yeah. It is the most controversial, the most adaptive. I think it's just a fantastic show.
It is.
It's my favorite animated show.
It's because that is a show where the creators didn't give two shits.
No apologies.
Yeah, it's funny. That's funny.
Yeah,
If you get offended, I'm sorry that you're such a pussy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's...
Oh my god, yeah, dude. They have pissed off everybody. And there's even an episode about it.
Yeah.
About if you don't piss off everybody, then you shouldn't piss off anybody, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Either make fun of everyone or no one. And they did it.
So what I have on this is it says usually these shows are released late night due to the fine line that a lot of these shows walk on. They usually aren't afraid to make sorry, it's the awful backstory to South Park. That's where I was going to lead in. And so it started out, I don't know if you know this. Well, I'm sure you do know this, but it's cutout animation was how it originally started. Matt and Trey met in Colorado. I can't remember what college in Colorado.
I don't know, but I do know, yeah.
But they were an animation class. Yeah, they used construction paper. But what was messed up was their first contract with Comedy Central. They had to have it was a 6-day guarantee.
Yes. They would make it the week of.
They literally had 6 days to have an episode fully done, cut out, ready to go, and then they literally have a day break to figure out, okay, what's the next story going to be about?
Yeah.
So, and then, so that's literally what it was until their first contract was over. Then obviously they renegotiated, like, fuck that, because that's bullshit. So, so there's actually rumors too, that during the second negotiation, the production team would work 6 72-hour work weeks and then get laid off without pay for 4 to 6 weeks until the next production cycle.
Jesus, that's not even, like, that's some sporadic work.
That's crazy. Now, I'm sure, obviously, as technology got better and whatnot, all that got better. So,
Yeah, the show does get better as you get further along, too.
oh yeah.
I think the thing with South Park is Parker and Stone, they're all about political correct. Like, they make fun of political correctness in a sense that, like, I know that they pissed off a lot of people. So, like, I think in the culture of everything, they do courses on South Park and political correctness. And, like, a Brooklyn college has a course on this. Because if you watch what they make fun of multiple things at once in multiple ways.
Yeah, it's not just like a...
Like, you could be laughing because they're making fun of something that you hate, but at the same time, they're making fun of you. Like, it's like you don't realize what's going... Like, and then you have, like, the cultural phenomenon of Eric Cartman's a piece of shit.
He is.
But he's allowed to be a piece of shit because the whole point is to show you how much of a piece of shit he is. And he's spouting these ideas, and people are like, oh, Cartman's so funny. Well, yeah, but at the same time, like, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And then you got Kenny. Like, Kenny, you killed Kenny, you bastards. And, like, that became a cultural phenomenon with Kenny dying and stuff, which they eventually had to...
They stopped doing
Stop
that. Yeah,
doing,
they
'cause-
did stop.
And then they have other, like, exclamations or, like, quotes from the show that have become really popular over the years. Like, I mean, Cartman had that respect my authority. Yep. The screw you guys, I'm going home. Tons of catchphrases from that show. So the fact that it didn't take first hurts me more than I think it should.
See, I think the biggest controversy for me too would be like when they had the devil and Osama bin Laden
Saddam.
or Saddam Hussein. That's what it was. Yeah, like I feel like because that was a long stretch of stuff, and I feel like whenever those two appeared, you knew stuff wasn't gonna be great. You knew like there was some
Like the
raunchy stuff
devil's,
coming.
like,
Yeah.
sweet 16 birthday party that you want to have. Come on, you guys. I need to have a sweet 16. And then you have, I mean, Osama bin Laden helped them destroy the New Jersey Guidos when they went west. So, I mean, they really push a lot of buttons. They even had an episode about showing Muhammad, the Prophet of Islam, which, if you know anything about Islam, is not allowed. You
I
cannot.
know that episode. I know that episode.
It got banned.
It did?
In a lot of places, yeah. Well, at the end, I don't know if they even show them or not, but I remember like throughout the whole episode, everyone's putting their heads in the sand because they don't want to be a part of it. And instead of saying it's them, they pretend it's Family Guy. Like, Family Guy's gonna do something so messed up, and like Family Guy's episodes are just picked by manatees that find balls in the water with random topics on it. So they kind of burn their fellow animation.
I think a big stepping point for me too with South Park was when they did their movie.
The bigger,
The
longer,
bigger, longer
uncut.
uncut.
Yeah, I remember seeing that in the video stores, which kind of ages me a little bit. But I remember seeing that and being like, "Mom, I want to see that." Wasn't allowed to.
Yeah, until
Took years for me to see
until
it.
we started hanging out, and your mom took us on a trip to Washington D.C., and that's what she woke up to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I remember that. Yeah, she was pissed.
She woke up out of a dead ass sleep, like, "What the fuck are you watching? Turn that shit off!"
She was. Yeah, she was pissed.
Yeah, dude. But that was the first time I was like, "You never seen this movie? It's on." And what I loved about it is it was late enough at night too, where because back then, once you watch TV past a set time, there was no like real sensory. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was like you
they
got
were
the
cussing.
uncut, yeah.
Yeah, they were
Which
saying.
is
Fuck.
the only
They
way to
were
watch
saying
that
shit.
movie.
Yeah. Because if you don't, then you just get your beep 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 beep.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of beeping. But no, I mean, we could go all day on South Park. I won't do that because I'd like to maybe one day do an episode on just South Park and the whole process behind what Stone and Parker do.
Yeah.
But with that, what is number one?
Number one, I'm not upset. And I think you're going to be kind of more baffled. But number one is Rick and Morty.
Really?
Yeah, that is the number one is Rick and Morty. So when I seen that, I was like, yeah, no shit. Because that's my favorite out of all of them.
So, not my favorite. I would still put
Yeah.
South Park just because of how strong and the history of it. But Rick and Morty is one that I do enjoy quite a bit. It's, if you haven't seen it, it's a sci-fi fiction with it kind of like it started off as like it's a project by Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon. It was on Adult Swim. And it had Rick Sanchez, which is like this mad scientist. He's cynical. He's pissy. Like, he's so good at everything that it's like...
He's arrogant.
Yeah,
he's the
he's-
smartest man in the universe. That's
He's
what
not someone you really want to look up to, even though people do. He's kind of a piece of shit.
and he knows that.
Oh, yeah. And his grandson, Morty, is like... They go on adventures together. It's kind of got the, like, Back to the Future vibe, but, like, hardcore.
Endless scenarios. You literally run into anything. He has a time machine or a time portal. He has a portal gun, so
Yeah.
he can jump to different dimensions. He can go to pretty much anywhere anytime he wants to go.
It does. It's hilarious, honestly. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but sometimes like it deals with some serious themes. So the thing that really burns me about Rick and Morty is some of the fans. They
Yeah.
get really weird about it. Like, they're like,
They do.
"Oh, well, you're just not smart enough to understand Rick and Morty." No, I fucking understand. They have a character named Mr. Poopy Butthole. I think I'll get it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that deep. But I mean, that being said, there is deep parts to it.
There are. I know there's a lot of there's a lot of backlash too. So so I don't know if you know this, but neither original content creators affiliated with Rick and Morty any longer.
So I knew the one. Yeah, the one got in trouble for some naughty stuff.
Yeah.
Did all the voices for the show, and he no longer is on it.
Yep. And then the last one just quit because of the whole writers thing. He just didn't come back.
Okay. No, I didn't know that though. But
Yeah. So now they have a bunch. So now instead of having the one guy doing all the voices, they have multiple people doing multiple voices. You know, and they do pretty good.
they
Like,
do. I didn't even really notice when I was watching. I'm like, oh, I mean, I knew, but I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, if I didn't know, I probably wouldn't even. I could kind of see it sometimes, but not that often. They did really well with it.
Yeah.
The show was kind of philosophical. I feel like they definitely like addressed the insignificance of being human.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least in my opinion.
No,
Like,
no. Mark, listen to that. Rick's very vocal about that in multiple episodes.
yeah, he's
How,
just like, you're
you're
so
worthless.
insignificant.
Yeah.
Like, it's like very Lovecraftian in a
Morty.
sense. Which is really cool to see. They deal with like cosmic horror. There's like existential dread hateful like things they talk about. Like it's just very like the one is like about the purge
Yeah,
on a planet. Like the whole planet does it, and it's like
that's like the thing. I feel like they take big popular things because they have one where they make fun of Freddy Krueger. They have Scary Terry, and they even say things
Yeah.
like this. So it's
I'm Scary Terry, bitch. Like
you can run, but you can't hide, bitch.
yeah, he just keeps saying.
And they even say it too. He's like, this is like a really big knockoff of an 80s horror character, but has knives for fingers instead of knives for hands.
Yeah, it's definitely like they break the fourth wall a lot. Like
Yeah.
they know they're in a cartoon where he's like ending the season. He's like, we're gonna keep doing this for the next like 6 seasons, Morty. Like it's just, he's an anarchist. Rick is like so. He's kind of like Cartman for South Park in the fact that you can be like he's a piece of shit trash person, but you can put these ideas onto him, and then like watch people react to those type of ideas.
Yeah.
And
Nothing
then-
offends him.
No, that's just who he is. Like he's just like this debauchery filled I wouldn't say villain, but anti-hero. And then you have like Morty who's like just this naive like, "Oh, geez, Rick." Like he just doesn't know. And as the series goes, he definitely gets less naive and more like ah shit, here we go again
Here
kind
we
of
go.
thing.
He's ready for it. Yeah.
Or his like sister who just doesn't give a shit about anything,
Yeah,
like
Summer.
Summer, like she's just doing her own thing, and then the mom who's kind of like she's got issues with her dad. Like they really break into stuff. Obviously, the best character in the damn show is Jerry,
Yeah.
who is just like the most innocent son of a bitch I've ever seen in my life, and he
He's the
just
most
makes
normal person in that entire TV.
He is, and he just takes things on the chin. And he's just like, "Well, Rick, I think that we need to do blah 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 or whatever it is," and.
Jerry, you're a piece of shit. Don't talk to me.
Yeah, and everyone's just so mean to Jerry. But I will say, Jerry, like the first episode I ever watched of Rick and Morty, I think you showed me, and it was the one where they're in the house and they can't remember what's real or not,
Yeah.
and like everyone's like,
Yeah, that's my favorite episode.
yeah, like
Yeah.
everything's like, oh, remember when our butler, our trusted butler, you don't remember him? And they're like, oh shit.
Yep.
like
yeah.
Total
God, I can't
Recall
remember
or
the name.
something.
Yeah, Total Recall. That's what it is.
And like they
yeah.
cannot figure it out, like who's real and who's not. And then at the end of the episode, spoiler alert: if you do not want to know how the end of the episode ends, please stop listening. Mr. Poopy Butthole, he just gets shot, and he's like, "What the hell?"
This is it. This is how I'm gonna die. This is how I die.
Yeah, I was like, "Holy shit!" And like the mom's like in the kitchen putting the wine in the glass, like freaking out. And they continue with that throughout the seasons. I'm
They
like,
do. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, this guy's still in
Even
the series.
in the newest one, because that was like
That's
second season.
1 or 2, yeah.
yeah, and they're in like season 7 now, and they still carry that on. It's absolutely.
He would only show up randomly, like at the end of like a season. They'd show him like going through like physical therapy.
And that's why it made sense, or at the end of the episode, that she would end up shooting him because he does just randomly pop in spontaneously like that, which
Yeah.
is why it's relevant to the episode, because she was like, wait a minute, like,
Is
that-
it real?
Because my thing is, that's the first time, that episode is the first time we're ever introduced to Mr. Poopy Butthole.
Yeah.
So that's why, to me too, I was like, who the fuck is that guy? Is this real? That's why I love the ending of that, because it makes it real. Like, he's like, nope, he's not going away. This dude's here. You know what I mean?
He's here to stay. He seems ridiculous with the name and everything, but nope, he's a real guy.
a real guy.
No, and then
Wowie.
you got tons of like characters that are just like really like remembered. I mean, Mr. Meeseeks, you still hear about that. I'm
yeah.
Mr. Meeseeks.
Look at me.
Yeah, like that's just a fun concept. And then like as it went on, I remember season 3 is when I started getting annoyed with some of the fans because they start talking about some like they kind of like build into like a storyline at that point.
Yep.
And with that, they like there's this one episode, I think it was the very first episode of season 3, where they're in Rick's head and he's talking about Szechuan sauce for Mulan tie-in. Like
Yeah.
it was for the Mulan movie in 1998, and it's a tie-in, and he's like, oh, I gotta have some of that Szechuan sauce or whatever it is, and like they start reselling it at McDonald's because
do.
of that. Which was really cool, but then like you would see videos of people that would go in and just start doing this weird like, I need my Szechuan sauce, like people standing on counters like mentally ill. Like,
Dude, that's the internet that just fucking.
dude, that was nuts. I'm
Ugh,
like,
get me started.
like I didn't even want to try it, even though it was delicious. I'm like, I don't want to try it. It
I
wasn't.
didn't like it.
It wasn't that delicious. It was delicious. It wasn't that delicious to where I'm gonna jump on a counter and roll around with a hood over my head. I remember the video with the kid. It was just the weirdest thing. I'm like, dude, that is weird. Like, that's not okay. And then
I know there was some videos going around too of people actually like starting fights with McDonald's and saying they were gonna ban McDonald's.
Yeah.
If they didn't bring it back and like all. It's like, dude, shut up.
like people
It's
were
a
like obsessed
cartoon,
with
dude.
this sauce they had never tried. I'm like, dude, yes, the show brought the sauce into like being looked at again, but like let's not get weird with it because then they won't do these kind of tie-ins anymore.
Yep.
But I guess that does show to the power of Rick and Morty. I mean, people have it all over the place. You see it on tons of different like bumper stickers, and I know I see a lot of people with like shirts, sweaters.
Dude, I got shirts. I got posters on my living room wall.
You do, yeah. You love that stuff,
dude. I love it. It's one of my favorite shows. I don't know. I don't know why. Like, because I usually don't get too tied in with shows. Like, I don't mind watching them and stuff. But that was the one. You know, like I'm not running out to buy King of the Hill stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, and I think something about it that like it's sci-fi. It's very interesting concepts, but it and I hate saying it like this because I sound like one of those douchey Rick and Morty fans, but it kind of like takes these concepts that are kind of difficult to understand and it kind of dumbs them down for us normal people so that we can like kind of enjoy them too. It's not like these sci-fi theories that like maybe it's the one about like dimension hopping or something like, and we're like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. I wouldn't even know the first thing about it. Well, Rick and Morty dumb it down for us
Hey,
and
check
let
this
us
out. Yeah.
check, yeah, like so that we can enjoy those type of things. Or you see like the one about like aliens where the creatures come out and then they take over someone, like sit on their face, and then they do a whole story about that planet.
Yep.
So it can kind of bring
That's a
in
newer
casuals.
one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's those kind of fun things that they do that I think keeps people drawn back in.
But maybe that's why they're number one.
I don't agree with it, but yeah, I could see why they
No,
are.
and like I said, I understand your feet on South Park. South Park is good.
South Park is great.
Yeah, it's great. It's one of my favorites. I've binge watched that. Like, it's hard to binge watch that one though because there's so many damn episodes. Like, when you start over, you're watching it. Like, there is no binge watching it because you're gonna be watching it for a very long time.
Yeah, for sure. But no, that's a pretty good list. Animated, like we could go on for hours on any of these shows towards the end there. Some of these shows I haven't seen. Some of them I want to rewatch. Some of them I've seen so much that I probably never have to rewatch again. And then there's probably quite a few of them that I probably will never watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any parting words since we're coming to the end of this
that's
episode?
I like this episode. I loved it.
It's fun
This is
going
a
through
big
'em.
part of me. This is a big chunk of who I am. So yeah, I just glad I was able to, talk about it.
Yeah, I was
to
gonna
be able
say.
to put my opinions out on it, and yeah, I was excited. You got anything?
No, I think that's about it for this one. Thanks for listening, everybody. We plan on being back next week. We should have some new ones. I know that we had a little bit of a technical difficulty, but we should be fine going forward. This time we'll make sure our stuff's charged the right times.
That's my bad.
But, all right, that's all I got, so wolf out.